Yeah. Right. So speaking of live audio, you are in a System of a Down tribute band.
Yes.
You have what other projects? You doing anything else?
Officially, as far as active, I am also in a Queen tribute band.
Right.
As a backup singer.
Yeah, with Jason Nelson, right?
Correct.
Yes.
We have like a 5-part chorus, not including Jason.
Yeah.
The lead singer. And it's fun.
That's awesome. Is Stacey Rios in that?
No,
she's not in that. She's around somewhere else. But do you know her, Stacey? Miles Coffrin and Stacey Rios. They're awesome power couple.
Yeah.
Great musicians too. Miles plays in, I forget what it's called, but it's like a tribute to Marilyn Manson. And I think he does a White Zombie tribute too. He's got the Rammstein guitar, like the signature series.
Yeah. I think I've been to their last few shows. Yeah. Actually, the most recent one I had to miss, but I've been seeing those. Yep. Okay, and then she is in the Meatloaf.
Yes. Yeah. She also Fear Leader, or
she's a Fear Leader.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I recognize her. Like she came out.
Yeah.
She was out at the at our last Queen show.
Yeah,
we did a show on the 30th, and which turned out super fun. Yeah, it's like everyone's home for the holidays. Yeah, and so it's like let's party.
Yeah.
And she was there, and it's like, you're a Fear Leader. I recognize you. It's like, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. They're rad. They're so rad. But.
Yeah, because along with that show was Duran.
Yes.
Tribute band.
Yeah. They did that. Was that at Blueberry Hill? Maybe
that was at Diamond Music Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jace. So yeah, I think we talked about this last time I saw you. So he's kind of like, from what I know, like the tribute band guru around here. You know? Like Steve Ewing will do some things here and there, like a Stevie Wonder deal, but like Jason is the guy that like puts all of these together. And I've been in Radiohead, Faith No More, Mr. Bungle. What else did we do? You know, just sitting in here and there with him or whatever. But just like his shows are amazing, man. They did the Ramones, and he had the leather jacket and like performs the entire time. By the end of the show, there's a puddle of water, like of sweat, right by his mic. Yeah. I mean, the dude.
Sometimes he flings it.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, this dude, he knows what's up, and it's really good to play with him too. I haven't played with him in a while. They got a new guitar player in 120 minutes. There's 2 guys now. Okay. And whatever they couldn't cover, like Jim, their lead guitar player, his son would play, and then I would come in and do some third parts or whatever. Cool. But they have this guy now, so I haven't heard from him. So, you know, it's sad, but man, it moves on. You know,
right? Life goes on.
Yep, life goes on.
Yeah.
So I want to get back into we covered pretty much everything in your career. I want to start where you began to, like, growing up, where you grew up, and then we talked about you know being black and supposedly in these white spaces. You know, we're a product of our environment. You know, the way we speak just reflects who we grew up around. And then sometimes code switching will happen when we'll run into cousins from back east, down south, something like that. And then something else comes out of us, and surprising, but like, okay, I better just go with it, you know? Yeah. Did you encounter that kind of thing?
Yeah, to an extent. You know, growing up, kind of establishing my identity and also just trying to fit in. I would catch myself just kind of like sounding more like the people around me, going from one side to the other. I mean, nowadays I still do it, just pertaining to, like, if I'm working in Chesterfield on someone's kitchen, I'm going to be presentable because I'm also representing the company that I work for. Right. So, but, you know, when I'm like, you know, chilling, I'm relaxed, I'm just going to talk how I want, which isn't, you know, trash, but
right. And I think so. That's where I would get. You know, I remember. I can still see his face the way he said it. It's like, you talk my cousin. You know, why you talk so proper?
Oh,
like, I can't answer that. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, but then, you know, if you do these things, it's so weird. There's a fine line when you answer the phone for a business or something like that, especially if someone you know calls this company and you say, hey, thank you for calling da-da-da-da. You know, this is so-and-so. Can I help you? This is Darren. This is Chan. Can I help you? And they're like, wait, Chan Evans? Like, yeah. It's like, that doesn't sound like you. Like, I don't know what me sounds like, but yeah, okay. Like, that's when I think sometimes some people might expect us to affect this phone tone. You know, no rhyme intended. Yeah. But like, I think I just do it just so I make sure that everyone can understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, do you find, I mean, have you been made fun of for any of that kind of stuff? You know.
Yeah. Not like to an extreme extent, but I've been mocked.
Yeah. What does that do to a kid? Like, I don't know how old you were. Like, it just could have been a week ago. Yeah.
I was young, yeah. One of my brother's friends, you know, was over. And, you know, big brother's friends are assholes. Can be.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's hard to really, like, put into words how that feels. Like, you know, it's just adds to the list of judgment. It's like, what's it to you? Why you gotta be such an asshole? This is me.
Right.
You know, take it or leave it, but you don't gotta be an asshole about it.
Yeah.
But kids are assholes.
So then, you know, that leads to building walls. That leads to, as one would say today, dulling your shine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like really kind of hiding and making yourself smaller. And that's something I grew up doing, you know, and I'm still combating. I just turned 50 a couple months ago, and I'm still like, you know, all right, wait, man, I'm pretty great. You know, I think I'm pretty awesome. There's a lot of people that tell me so. Like, why am I hiding behind what I think that one person 35, 45 years ago, you know, said to me, you know.
Right. Yes. Shit sticks with you.
Yeah.
In one way or another. It might not be on the surface, but like certain things will just like, you know, trigger that feeling or that emotion without you having like a direct recollection of it. You know, just like hearing you talk about that person talking about you talking proper. It's just like, oh.
I don't know. Something came to mind. That feeling you get in your gut, it's almost the same thing when someone says something like that, or if there's someone not black that says something that's uneasy, you know, makes you feel uneasy. Liking that too. Seeing police sirens, you know, oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not the fear of like, okay, this person's gonna shoot me, you know, but that weird sinking feeling like, oh my God, how far out of pocket am I? Am I gonna go to, like, what did I do? Like, wait, you know, there's a similar kind of gut wrenching feeling. You know, when someone that they don't mean the best for you. You know, Can we go into? I mean, let's draw that stuff up. Can we go into any of those times that I think when it really dawned on you that you were different from everybody left and right? The black kids, you don't speak like them, may not dress like them. The white kids, obviously, you don't look like them. You know, Jenny's daddy's not gonna, she's not bringing you home. I've had that too. This girl she brought me to meet her family, or we went to her place for some reason. She wanted me to, I don't know what her intentions were with me. I know we liked each other. Yeah. Her mom, hi, nice to meet you, Chan. And then, dad sitting in the corner, barely looking at me, like, and the mom's like, I could see her stuck in between her devoted husband and knowing that this boy that her daughter's brought home means no harm. And I didn't, that was the first time I was just like, what? Why so serious? Give me that. Tell me about that. Are there any times that kind of happened? Whether it's musically, school, dating somebody, walking down the street.
It's really hard to recall like a singular moment. Because I grew up in private schools. So it's what I've always known as not looking like everyone, and not being like everyone. I'd be in private schools during the day, then come home to U City, borderlining Pagedale at night. On the weekends, I'm out playing, and my proper spoken ass is just trying to play. Yeah. And but can't help be singled out. Yep. Because of how differently I talk. Yeah. We can't just coexist. Yeah. So it's always been a thing. Yeah. Yeah. There's no like singular moment.
I mean, we learned to juggle. We learned to balance. I can't say that I grew up with the strongest, emotional sense ever, learning how to deal with my parents splitting back and forth and those things like that. But you're talking about 3 different worlds. Private school day where you hardly see anybody that looks like you. Then you go to the show, same thing, because it's a rock club and there aren't as many other black kids there. Yeah. And then, your family where you have to affect this different voice. Yeah. Like I'm here, I almost fit in school because I can just speak like me and I sound like everybody else, but I don't look like anybody else. Right. I mean, did you feel like a ping pong ball? Do you recall any of that? Or is it just buried? Like I've buried shit.
I've definitely buried. My family has been not rejecting nor accepting. We all kind of just exist among one another. We all kind of have our individualistic properties within our own selves. My mother's always been very nurturing with my choices. She doesn't always agree with my choice of music, but she's honest about it, which I appreciate. But she's always been supportive of what I like, of my passions.
Thank you, Mom.
Yeah, yeah, and they're all properly spoken, just like me. So I've never had to, mask or change, who I am or how I talk. Going to shows. I don't know. I've always been like the wishy-washiness about just like my dialects pretty much went away pretty early.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like come high school, I just rebelled. And was just like, okay, you know what? This is me. I could do without y'all anyways. Yeah.
I think that's a condition of, what you were, I almost said up against, like what you were presented in life, and this rebellion all of a sudden, it's like, you know what? And I kind of applaud you for being able to see that so early. Like it took me forever to really embrace. Like I had my core friends, this 3 other dudes, it was the 4 of us that were just band geeks, nerdy kind of dudes. And then, that world expanded a little bit to other people, and, you shift from these few because, I started getting more serious about playing music or whatever my instrument was at the time. I think it was drums or something. Mm-hmm. And then, you're leaning with these people too. And hopefully as you grow through those cycles, the people that you're with are just accepting just because they see who you are. Yeah. Let's go into those people. You finally found your path. You finally found your people. You finally found your voice.
Yeah.
Where did you go? Where did it take you?
It was like around high school.
Yep.
So,
I'm listening.
Yeah.
I'm tracking these. Go ahead.
To put into words, I basically took that experience and I don't know, I flipped the script. Mm-hmm. Basically what it felt like was just being thrown into the woods, into the jungle, and how I came out of it, is like a product of that. And it was a kind of school where you trip on the curb and everyone's joning you for it. Mm-hmm. It's just like
you can't make any mistakes.
Oh yeah, you better be perfect, or else you will be singled out, pointed at, and laughed at by everybody. Mm. So it's like, okay, you want to laugh at something? Laugh at this. And we actually started a clique. Uh-huh. Because that's the high school is the time of the cliques.
Oh yeah.
So we started our own, where we basically just did stuff like that. Just like, all right, you want to laugh at this, and we would do stuff on purpose. Mm-hmm. And some things that one would consider a crazy person would do. Yeah. And we just went with it. Hey, you want to fuck with us? You might not work out well for you, just because I don't know, and that wasn't our intention. That's like we didn't conduct ourselves to do that. It was all fun,
Yeah,
that was like the main thing, and I don't know. We all had our reasons of doing that. It's all camaraderie based. Mm-hmm. To the core, like we made friends. And I just love the lifestyle. It's mm-hmm. unpredictable, wild card way of life. You know.
Is that where you found your bandmates? Or your first people that you started getting into music with?
Not necessarily in that like small group of friends, but definitely like we had. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I had like a very small, very 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 small group of friends. I associated with a slightly larger group of people, but I had like one best friend, and then a couple other like near best friends, and then eventually, I never really like kind of traced the path of my connection to my first bandmates, but it's probably safe to say that it's probably in one way or another mm-hmm. Introduced me to those guys.
Yeah.
I have a hard time remembering how I even met my best friend.
Yeah. Right. Because it's almost you don't remember a time before them, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how did we even meet?
Yeah. It was almost like you were just there. They were there.
Yeah, like a dream.
Yep.
Yeah.
You woke up and they're like, hey, buddy.
Yeah, now we're hanging out.
Same, and I think that speaks to that kinship, that camaraderie, you know, having, man, you know, frequencies, like energy is a frequency, and all of these, you know, things vibrate at certain levels. You know, all the different colors vibrate at this whatever level. Yeah. This vibrates at a certain level too. And people that know each other or get to know each other. Yeah. Like, I can tell within just seconds of meeting somebody if I'm going to know them for the rest of my life, or if it's just like, because I won't remember their name. I won't remember the name. I might see you every once in a while, but the people that I absolutely still fuck with to this day, like, there was something that was already there. You know what I mean? And like their name, I just heard it again. Like, oh, hey, that's Holly. That's my twin Holly. That's, you know, that's so-and-so. There's Darren. You know, like when I met you, it was just like, Darren. Yeah. I think I'd see you and I'd never have to think about it again. You know, all of these, there are certain people that you just, that's it. Yeah. And I'll know you. So, okay. Fast forward, you know, you find out that you are a singer. You know, you play bass. You know, you find out that music is where you're at. This is what I need to do. Tell me about, so getting into that, and I want to leave race topics out of this now. Tell us what was driving you, and then we'll get back to that representation, like when you said, that's me, you know. So what drove you in that direction in general?
Just the way music affects me.
Kind of like it was just already there. It's another best friend.
Very much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it pumps my blood.
Yep.
And it wasn't later on. I've known this since I was little, since I was in diapers. It basically drives me. Ever since I've, started playing music by ear, it's just what I've always been drawn to do with my free time. Grew up with a piano in the house, and I spent hours on that thing. And, eventually I, learned how to hold the drumsticks in grade school and play the snare drum. It's like, oh yeah, I like this. Drums.
Okay, swing a thing, hit a thing, it makes a sound.
I got rhythm.
All right.
I can hit stuff and play music.
Yeah.
It's great. And then, eventually I got into heavier music, and playing with other people with like-minded tastes, similar tastes in music. Hey, and I started listening to heavier music. Wanted to try to start a band. We're like, all right, we're gonna start a band. He's got a drum set already. Cool. So I guess I'm gonna play bass. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And then just took it all the way and drove it home. As a drummer, I kind of wanted to make a point to represent bass players unlike they are normally represented.
Yep.
I want to be more like, not like, I want to not necessarily stand out or be like lead in a band, but just do more than most bass players do.
Yeah.
Really create that marriage between the melody and the rhythm.
Yeah.
And maybe bang my hair in my head a few times pretty hard, kind of maybe lose sense of reality for 3.5 minutes. Or however long we feel like writing this song for.
Yeah.
And that's really what drives me ever since that first band, and the volume and the loudness that just takes over the room, takes over me, and I could just forget about everything and surrender to the song. That's why I always call it. Just to surrender to the song, and that's what drives me right there.
And that bass knob, and it just makes the room and the floor and your whole body rumble. Yeah. I played bass for a couple of bands back in the day and really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. But then I was just like, well, I'm a guitar player. I did it by default. Like they needed this, like they wanted me to be in the band.
Right.
Like, okay, all right, well, I'll just try it.
Fell in the position.
Yeah. And ironically, this band that I'm playing bass for now, same thing. They're like, I was thinking, I was like, man, I can hear spots where guitar would be cool. That'd be cool. And then like that same show, one of the guys came up, he's like, well, so our bass player's leaving. What do you think about playing bass for us? I'm like, it's like, yeah, those bass lines were cool though. So let me consider it.
Sure.
And then, dude, I'm having a blast. I'm loving it. And then standing next to my cabinet and just feeling the air move and locking in with, our drummer. There's really nothing like it.
There isn't.
And that's a role that I just hadn't played in a long time, and it's fresh again. So
yeah,
I'm all for it. So I love doing it, but I get to play guitar in a different band too. So I'm still doing my thing.
Yeah.
These words are unspoken. The blood in the blood, blood on decline. We walk the straight line. The one who will not shout. Big and mine. Death is forever. The running to the wall. Never mighty fall. The running to the wall. Never mighty fall. The running to the wall. Never mighty fall.
Okay, so let's circle back. When did you see my epiphany? I was into music. I was playing saxophone. I think I was playing drums at the time. But then, Living Color hits MTV. Corey starts whipping that hair around. Vernon's got dreads and Muzz. Like everybody's got these. Something's going on. Everybody's got something going on. And I had that moment with like, okay, so there is life in the rock world for me as a black kid, black teenager. When did you see that? Did you have that moment? Or was it just like, I'm already kind of doing it? Or did you see someone that even before, during, or like into your musical endeavors, was there someone that was just like fortifying, like, okay, they kicked open the door. That's why I'm able to do this.
Yeah.
I gotta follow this person. Is there anybody like that?
In rock music, I would probably say LaJohn Witherspoon of Severn Dust.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he's a singer, he still rocks.
Yeah.
He bangs his locks. And I've been in love with that band ever since the first time I heard him. Mm-hmm. And I've been playing and performing since I was little. So, but when I was little, it was more of an obligation. It's like the path is kind of laid in front of me. I'm in lessons, and the lessons have recitals. So it's like, okay, I don't want to do this, but I guess I have to. And then once I started volunteering to play, performing has always been more exciting.
When it feels like it's your idea.
yes, and I want to share. I want to share my gifts with whoever wants to hear it. But so I think LaJohn was probably the first to really like kind of show me that it's okay, that it's possible to succeed. Yeah.
Have you met him?
Yes and no. We meet and greet.
Right. Sure.
And I remember he asked me if I sing, and at the time I sing, but I was like a bass player though. Yeah. So it's like I was like, no, I'm a bass player. Even though I was like, yes, I sing.
Yeah.
Just never, but I wasn't like really like hard in it like I am now.
Yeah. He's on our list for sure.
Yeah.
To get to do this.
Ah.
Yeah, man, he's definitely on our list.
Man, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of core similarities in all of our stories, like the subjects and then mine and like everybody that we have on our list too, that have that connection. And that's what I'm trying to find is those connections that we've all experienced, and I'd hope that someday, everybody that's part of this gets to kind of meet and be in the same room,
Oh yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, hey, I saw your episode. I'm coming doing an episode too. And then just we're meeting at some crazy party. Like that can happen someday. I hope that happens someday.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
What's that thing you put in your nose?
Is that one of the? I don't know. I haven't listened to a lot of their music, man. I mean,
it's off their first record.
Yeah,
and it's like that's like a relative or a parent who just saw him get his nose pierced.
Yeah.
Like,
It's that thing you put. I don't know. It's jewelry, Grandma.
Right. But you know how they are.
Yeah,
how they can be.
Yeah. I mean, I got my ears pierced, and then like my mom always talks about my hair. Like, oh, Sharon, but like. It's not for you. It's mine.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Sure.
I still love you, Mom.
Yeah, they grew up how they grew up, and I'm learning to be more accepting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not really let the judgment define me, but just like to try to have an understanding of what they've come to know, and so it's okay if you don't see eye to eye.
Yeah,
I get it. What
would you tell that kid who is seen as outside or weird, like if you now could go back to when you were 12 or 16 or whatever, what are you going to say to that kid?
They don't know any better.
Yeah.
Don't take it too personal. They just have never met anyone like you before, so that's why they're asking.
Yeah.
It may come off as judgmental, like they see themselves above you because you're different than them and everyone that they've ever known. It might come off that way, but they're just learning.
I mean, that hit me. That's something I think that, God damn it, I think any of these kids, any of us would love to hear that.
Yeah.
From anybody, but man, seeing your future self like, wow, I turned out fucking cool, or I turned out like wait, you can use your left and right hand too, like you're ambidextrous, like things that you didn't know about yourself, even the week into the future, let alone making some decisions that have helped you grow, emotionally, some things that you have had to grow through those pains, like I was saying, we bottled a lot of stuff up. I've got shit bottled up too. Love to see a therapist about all that stuff.
Right.
I think maybe some of this is that therapy too.
I agree.
So that kid is, that kid is still in there, right?
Oh yeah.
How do you keep that kid happy?
Just keep moving forward. Set goals and achieve them. While still, making time, just enjoying myself, doing what I love, experiencing things that make me happy. I'm naturally exploratory, as anyone would be. And just, I don't know, for a long time, I would feel like I would need to do things with people. I'd have like a small group of friends. It's like, hey, you want to do this? Mm-hmm. Okay. And I've in the most recent years, I've grown more and more comfortable with doing things by myself. And so that's just the name of the game now. If you want to join me, you're welcome. If not, I'm going.
Yep.
And that's how I get the most, and that's how I keep that child happy.
What are you doing next?
Like musically or
musically? Yeah.
Next, we don't have any shows on the horizon. We are with my Pluck, the System of a Down tribute. We've gained a couple contacts with some bands that we're probably going to set some stuff up for earlier next year, but it's all just kind of being talked about currently. I think right now, at the moment, I'm working on some just personal projects. I was in a band. One of the bands that the band that I spent the most of my time with. We disbanded in 2012. We started in 2003. And we cut one album in that the whole time.
9 years. Must be a damn fine album,
dude. Yeah, spent a lot of time on it.
Yeah.
But also, just it took us, I don't know, most of that time we didn't have a singer.
Okay.
So it was very much experimental, envelope pushing. Like we're not fitting to any mold that's already been there. And so we're just like we're just gonna do what we want. We like math, and we like progressive music. We like funk. We like metal, and so we're just gonna do whatever we feel like doing. Let the song write itself and see where it goes.
Yep.
Which is why we had such trouble finding singers.
Yeah.
Yo, write lyrics to this.
Yeah, this section's in 11/7. This one, or 11/8. This one's in 7/4. This section, there's a bar of 2, and then it all starts over again. Find your breath, spaces there, and
it was painstaking. But once we found that singer, it was like, yes,
awesome,
finally,
cool.
And then we cut that record. So, but after we used these songs for that record, but we've got like another album's worth of material that they were just sitting on. So I took it upon myself to kind of make some scratch tracks of all that in my kind of ragtag home studio that's not really a studio. I just figured out how to use Cubase. And so for a time, I moved down to New Orleans with the drummer of that band. And we lived down there for 2 years. And for the first year, our guitar player of that band, he didn't move down until the following year. So the first year was just me and my drummer. So we decided to, write some songs, just drum and bass.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I'm working on, just kind of recording those ideas.
Okay. And then eventually it gets fleshed out or not, or whatever happens. Yeah.
I just want to hear it. I just want to hear the playback.
Yeah.
It's better quality than room recording.
Yeah. Where you got a studio that you're looking to, do final tracking at, or
not really?
No. It's wherever it happens, huh?
Yeah, I haven't really put that much thought into it. Just investing money.
Yeah.
In it. It's just kind of want to do a better than shitty home. Yeah. Quality home recording.
Yeah. There's a lot of practice spaces that have mics just nice and set up, just get to know somebody in there and they'll let you cut stuff, that's free or whatever. Yeah. Right. That's what we do. Actually, Jeremy Brantlinger and Mark Cange, these guys, they had a band called The Tennis Lesson. And now Jeremy's taking over the room basically. So he's got mics set on his kit, he's got direct outs from the bass rigs, everything's basically just a flip of the switch and it's on. you know, keys and all this stuff. He's got keys set up, like his monitor's never off. You know, all of these things are always set up. So I mean, but it's a tiny space, you know.
Sure.
And the 5 of us, we get in there and we do these, you know, do our work, and it's operated that way.
I love those environments.
Yeah,
the smaller the better.
Yeah,
You're like in each other's faces.
Yep, yeah.
I prefer like a practice room that's like that too.
Yeah.
And still everything cranked up though. So it's like
this barrier, put something in there. Yeah, there's one window and there's a window air conditioned unit, you know, that's in that, so you can't see anything, you know. Take a little earplug out of the peephole and maybe you can look into the hallway and see the next band's door, you know. Yeah. So there's that isolation within, you know, it's at the Linkt Brewery. You know, the whole, I don't know how many rooms there are. At least
Brewhouse Studios.
Yeah, at least 100 rooms.
Yeah.
Maybe 15 or 20 a floor, 60 rooms maybe, something like that. At least, you know. Yeah,
my band that I was talking about with that cut that one record.
Say the name.
Sicfaist.
Sicfaist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sicfaist.
Okay. Sicfaist.
Aha. Oh, this is the record we cut.
Oh, cool.
Road Unknown.
Road Unknown.
Can you see Road? Oh, it's over here.
It's over there.
Yeah.
Right on.
We were the first band on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
Of that space.
Okay. Up the main steps? Like you come into the main door and then all the way up, or is it on the back side?
I think you have to get up there from the back.
Like the elevator by the
elevator.
Yeah, the freight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We're actually second floor out of the elevator, and you turn right, and that's us right there. To the left is As Earth Shatters. It's like a blue door, and then there's like
all the posters.
I think so. Well, it looks like it's just a blue, and then like their logo goes up like sideways, so you have to turn your head a little bit. It says As Earth Shatters, and then Jimmy Gunn, his band that's his office.
They're still there.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's his office, and we're just right across the hall from them.
I love
it.
that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I thank you so much. I botched it the first time. I screwed the audio, but
it was still a nice process.
Yeah.
Like digging in and
yeah. But I'm glad you came back. I appreciate it, man.
So glad to be